السلام عليكم ورحمة الله.
وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله
الحمد لله
وبركاته.
نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور انفسنا وسيئات اعمالنا. من يهده الله فهو المهتد ومن يضلل فلن تجد له وليا مرشدا واشهد ان لا اله الا الله وحده لا شريك له واشهد ان محمدا عبده ورسوله بلغ الرساله وادى الامانه ونصح الامه وكشف الامه وجاهد في سبيل الله حق جهاده حتى اتاه اليقين ونحن على ذلك من الشيء. اما بعد ان احسن الحديث كتاب الله وخير الهدي هدي سيدنا محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم. I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to bless this gathering and make this gathering for his sake. And I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give us sincerity. And I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make this beneficial for all of us. And I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to surround us with his angels. So, to continue our series, my dear brothers and sisters, and in which time we started this door to talk about what are the things what are the shahawat, or the desires that tear the human hearts. And today we actually going to talk about two very important ones. Very, very important ones. So you can see yourself lucky being here inshallah. Seriously, because these are like big ones. The very first one, and many of you here inshallah going to relate to it, is shahwat al-nisa, which is the desire of women. Before we start, many people tend to think, why here Islam talks about, the desire of women? Why not talk about the desire of men toward women? Why the Quran talks about Hur al-Ain? Why the Quran talks about Hur al-Ain and there is no Hur for the women? Brothers and sisters, Islam is a very realistic religion that talks about the desires of the individual and how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created them. Now, I'm going to ask a couple of questions, okay, and I want you guys to answer, okay? Which one is more of a priority to a guy? Emotions or looks? Are we emotional guys? Are we emotional like guys? He trying to give the wrong answer, huh? So guys are more emotional than women, or who's more emotional? Women is more emotional. So we're less emotional, right? For instance, we go by the looks and how a person. If you want to attract a guy, is you don't sweet talk a guy. Is you show them pictures, you show them physical things, right? Opposite of those, women, they're more affected with emotions rather than looks, and that's why you see a lot of times. I'm sure you guys seen this many times on TV. You see a very beautiful woman with the most, maybe not so good looking guy, Why? Maybe the guy has a nice tongue, maybe, you see, or something along those lines. And this is very common. You see this so many of them. Because sometimes they're attracted by different things, by the way they talk, maybe how deep is his pocket, For us guys, it's for us very easy to seduce a guy by the way he looks, by what he sees, And this is natural to any guy, to any normal human male. This is the way you're attracted. Yes, does the woman attracted by the looks? Yes. No, because. But which one is more? The man, of course. Does that mean that we men don't have emotions? Yes, we have emotions. But who is more emotional? Women. You see? So, and that's why, the thing is, this is the mentality of a guy, and this is the mentality of a woman. Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, he said, "ما تركت بعدي فتنة أضر على الرجال من النساء." I have not left my ummah with more harmful fitna to men more than women. And so I want you to understand the depth of this situation. There is no fitna, no trial more harmful on the men more than what? Women. This is fact. You know, Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, look at this. In another hadith, Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "Inna al-mar'ata tukbilu fi surati shaitan, wa tudbiru fi surati shaitan." That a woman would come in a picture, or in a picture of Satan. I'm gonna explain that. What does that mean? Okay, and she's gonna turn away. She's gonna turn in a picture of a Satan. Meaning, what does that mean? She comes, is woman Satan? No, but meaning that no matter what the woman do, from far away, she's seductive to a man. And if a woman, for instance, turns, it's seductive. No, it's no matter what a woman can do, she can be seductive to a man. And that's why when a woman gets up, moves, bend down, and if a man looks, khalas, it's seductive to him. This is the reality. This is and this is the way men are created. Why? Because sometimes my wife, she asked me, like, you picked all of this for one look? Yeah. We mean, well, not seriously, we men, all of us, one look, we would describe you with a whole woman. One look. The woman does not have that. This is the way we are. Because our eyes, we call them, the eyes are like the hunters, right? When someone goes out to hunt, who hunts? Who hunts? Man. So the man, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created the man to have an eye of a hunter, meaning that with one look, we pick everything up. And that's why the first look is for you, and the second one is what? Against you. You see? So this is the way we are programmed. We can pick many things by just one look. And trust me, our eyes are expected with the men. It's amazing. It's really amazing how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created us. So this is the way we are created. And one of the scholars, Mujahid, he said, إذا أقبلت المرأة جلس الشيطان. He said, إذا أقبلت المرأة جلس الشيطان على رأسها فزينها لمن ينظر. فإذا أدبرت جلس على عجزها فزينها لمن ينظر. He said, if a woman comes by, the shaitan would sit beside her and he would beautify her to others. And if she bends down, he would sit down and he would beautify her to others. This is the job of the shaitan. Is because the problem of a man is what? Looking. This is a very strong test on us. And the test for the woman is what? She said her test is to cover her beauty. And woman by nature, she wants to show off her beauty. So her test is different than ours. She is tested with how she cover her beauty. Because she's tempted by, I want to show off and I wanted to dress this and dress that, and so people could see me. This is a test. And our test is different. How could we look? Imam al-Jawzi, he said, look at this what Imam al-Jawzi has said. He said, يعرض الإنسان على جوزته ويؤثر عليه الأجنبية. He's like, subhanallah, a man with, Allah subhanahu, a man by nature, he might turn away from his wife. A man might turn away from his wife, and he will be attracted to a foreign woman. And look what Imam al-Jawzi said. He said, وقد تكون زوجته أحسن. And maybe his wife is more beautiful. Maybe his wife is more beautiful. But the man, because of how, because he have an eye for a woman, he would not think anybody. He's looking at the foreign woman, even though maybe his wife is more beautiful. He said, والسبب, what is the cause? What is the reason? He said, والسبب في ذلك أن عيوب الأجنبية لا تبان لها. Why? Because whatever default faults that the foreign woman has are not apparent. When you go outside, you see the shaitan, mashallah, beautiful hair. What is this? But he does not know her defaults, her faults. He does not know that her, possibly the defects that she had, you know. وقد تكشفها المخالطة. How can we uncover this? Then when you get closer to them.
False in appearance or
Both. Yeah, nowadays both, Habibi, because nowadays is that, she had to have a wig, and she could have, and she could have Botox and everything, you know. Maybe as soon as you take a shower, she looks like your cousin. You never know. You never know, seriously. Because everything can be uncovered now, you know. SubhanAllah, you never know. Because that's why it's important that, when you, this is seriously, part of the the halal look when someone gets married, that you shouldn't be, she should look the way she is. Because this is the way you could be drinking a man. And same thing for the men too, same thing. Yeah, for instance, imagine if someone gets his halal look, okay, and she dyes her hair blonde, and she have blue eyes, and then she have Botox in her and fillers in her cheeks, and she have breast implant, and خلاص it's over, and then but when he marries her, by the way, everything is taking off now. It's haram, so you can't do that, And by the way, scholars have talked about this, by the way. It's haram. It is haram. You cannot fool a man by this. You cannot fool a man. Because this is, subhanAllah, he was attracted for you because of the way you look. And one of the aspects of that, we should maybe marrying a woman because of the way she looks. That's one of the four things, right? What are the other three? Diniha, her religion. Maliha, and the last one, her wealth. حسب her lineage, her lineage. So yes, but the thing is, subhanAllah, this is very important. So the issue here, Akhwan, is that yes, maybe sometimes a man, by the shaitan might persuade him to look at the four women, even though his wife is more beautiful. Why? Because he does not know and that's the way it is. We don't know the faults. Maybe someone looked beautiful in the member, right? But he never knows in his house. He doesn't know how he looks, when he washes his face. You never know. But all these things are covered when you deal with them. When you deal with them. And that's why it's important for us to not be fooled by looks. And that's why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala have honored the woman. For us not to look at her as an object. And imagine if something, because nowadays people, why would a man would chase a woman down the street? Well, because of her lineage? No. Because of how religious she is? No. It's like you don't even think about it, No. His number one, a number two, a number three, a number 17 is the way he looks. And it's going to be at the end of the day is one night stand. He sleep with her and he throw her away. Literally, they're treating her like a toilet. When someone, when you go to you relieve yourself, and then you leave. That's the way they treat the woman. For subhanAllah, the issue here is how to honor and respect our men, and how a man can protect himself. And that's why, brothers and sisters, men by nature, nothing fills our eyes. And this is something we have to understand as men. Nothing, I'm telling you as a guy, nothing fills our eyes. Imam Ali Taltawi, what he says, he said, لو أتيت مال قارون وجسد هرقل ووصلت 10,000 من أجمل النساء ما من كل لون ومن كل شكل ومن كل نوع من الأنواع هل تظن أنك تكتفي؟ He said, look, if you the man, if you have been given the wealth of Qarun, look, imagine, you were given the wealth of whom? Qarun, and you have the beautiful body of Hercules, okay? And you literally slept with 10,000 women from different types and different kinds and different cultures. You think it's going to be enough for you? No. Nothing fills our eyes. If you let go of it, nothing fills our eyes. And that's why it's important, yeah, well, it's for us to, that's why if you keep looking, you're going to be end up getting into this fahisha. The more you would. And that's why when you protect yourself, you protect your honor, your reputation, and your desires. You see? You know? And that's why that's why, brothers and sisters, yeah, that's how people are indulged in this haram desire, because they let go. They have no limitation. They have no stop sign. Stop, nothing. They keep going. And that's the problem, brothers and sisters, that many people, get into. And another saying, he said, فالنساء مختلفات, يعني women are different. ولكن الطعم متعة بينهن واحد لا تختلف. He's like, women are the same. But at the end of the day, that's what he said, at the end of the desire is the same. It's the same desire. Whether, no matter which woman is it, the same desire. So why someone would keep, and that's why people, the thing is, especially in our culture, this American culture, not our culture, the American culture, they have no limits. Especially, for instance, when the guy is going to college. Well, I've been through, I've seen guys go through this. It's endless, wallahi al-azim. Literally, you will see guys with a different woman every day. No exaggeration. And and that's why they contract all these diseases. And we wonder why this is happening to us. SubhanAllah. But at the end of the day, you think these things have no future consequences? No. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. There is a study that they have, not Muslims have done it, a study that done by the West. They said if a woman sleeps with more than 5 men before she gets married, her chances of keeping a stable marriage less than 20%. So the more she sleeps with men, the less likely she's going to have a stable marriage. Why? Why do you guys think that?
She's not used to it.
Yeah, that's one factor, but why? Yeah, I want you guys to think a little bit deeper. Why? Why the woman, the more she sleeps with men, and even the same thing applies to men, nothing different. Less likely for them to keep a stable marriage. Why? And this happens to men and women. Why? Because our mind, by default, we like to compare. We like to compare. Like for instance, by the time that she sleeps with the 6th or the 7th guy, look, oh man, wallahi, John, the first one was very gentle. And Smith was very soft talking. And the 4th guy, he used to take me out every day. And the poor husband, he's trying to compete with all the long history that she had been through. Seriously, by default, this is by, no matter what, it's not big. And the same thing for guys, and the same thing for us. Yeah, for instance, for instance, if someone is stuck with someone and they think he's not going to get paid his wife to the ones he slept with in the past, same thing. Not because he wanted to, it's by nature. He's going, oh, wallahi, this woman, she used to treat me nice and she used to bake me breakfast, and this one does not even care. He's going to compare. And the more you will compare, the less successful your marriage will be. You see? So it's important, brothers and sisters, to keep that, to understand how these things does not only apply to Muslims, applies to it, but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has put a limitation, have put a structure that you lower your gaze, you protect your private parts. And that's why when a man came to Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and he told him, "O Prophet of Allah, allow for me to have zina." What was the prophetic argument the Prophet ﷺ utilized? He said, would you agree to this to your mother? أترضاها لأختك? Would you agree this if this happened to your own sister? أترضاها لابنتك? Do you agree if this happened to your own daughter? And he said, no, no, no. I mean, but no one would agree to this. Well, even a dog would not agree to this. But nowadays, subhanAllah, this even, subhanAllah, you will see this. You see people even worse than dogs nowadays, like absolute no khira on their daughters and their sisters. You know? SubhanAllah, this is, so by default, you have this, and our Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, he made dua, and he put his hand in his chest, and then he made a dua for him. You know, he asked Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make zina the most hateful thing to him. And the man, he walked out of the masjid, he said, the most hateful thing to me is zina, is adultery. SubhanAllah. So, ya ikhwan, this is the way we operate. This is the way we think. You know, and that's why, brothers and sisters, it's important for us to understand this aspect. And please, if there is one thing that you can get away with, try to get with the point I'm going to address right now. No matter how religious you are, don't trust yourself. I'm going to say this one more time. No matter how religious you are, how long is your beard, how come you come to the masjid, don't trust yourself. Don't say, I'm not getting bothered by the person. Don't. Imam al-Qayyim, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he said the following. He gave us a story. He said that this story happened in Egypt, where there was a man who used to give adhan. So he went up to above the masjid. Imam al-Qayyim, he gave us a story. He went up to the masjid because back then they used to have speakers. They used to go up the masjid to make adhan, right? So he went up to make adhan. And in Egypt, you know, sometimes you have Christians. So as he went up to make adhan, he saw a woman, and she was a Christian, and she was very beautiful. So he walked, and then after that he wanted to see her. He was so overwhelmed with her. He told her, I want to marry you. He said, my father wouldn't agree because he only would marry me to Christians, to a Christian man. She said she would have to convert. He said, I convert. Muazzin. When a shahwa overtakes you, you would not think, Allah Alam. Like you would not stop thinking and process now. She would occupy your brain. He said, she would convert. He said, I would convert. Then he left the masjid, the place, her house, and she went to tell her father, and he converted in front of her, and he went out. When he went out, something fell on him, and he died. So no, he gained the dunya, nor the deen. Look how your ending got messed up. And Imam, the other story happened at the time of Imam Abdul Aziz. Abdul Aziz. He said, a man, look at this, he used to be a hafiz, Imam of the Quran, and mujahid, fighter. And he used to be a person who used to fast daily. And he used to, a person who made qiyam al-layl. When he was making jihad, he went and he saw a woman. And he was overwhelmed by her beauty. He fell in love with her. He chased after her. She told him you must change your religion. He changed her religion. He was fast. And then one of the ambassadors of Umar bin Aziz went into Constantinople. And he saw the man. He told him, what happened? He said, I married her and I have children. And he asked him, do you remember anything from the Quran? He said, I forgot all of it. But I remember one ayah. From all of the Quran, only I remember ayah. ربما يود الذين كفروا لو كانوا مؤمنين. Maybe, subhanAllah, maybe the people who became kuffar, they would wish to be Muslims again. kuffar, Allah says, maybe the kuffar, they would wish to be Muslims again. Beyond this ayah, he forgot everything. So brothers and sisters, don't trust yourself. Don't say, Wallah, I am a sheikh. No, and this is especially for the parents, that you watch the content of what your kids are watching. Make sure you have restrictions on their phones, on their tablets. Don't say, Wallah, my son is, I trust him. No. Maybe you trust your son, but you shouldn't trust the shaitan. Don't trust the shaitan. Because with one click, he can go. Don't trust yourself. Don't say, Wallahi, if he is, mashallah, a good righteous son. Yes, inshallah, may Allah give him more righteousness. But you should be protected. Never say, this will not influence me. No. People don't go to a bar and to say, I'm going to give da'wah and lower my gaze. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. You don't go to a strip club and say, I'm going to lower my gaze. It's not going to happen either. You see? So don't put yourself in a way of harm and say, I'm going to protect yourself. It's not going to happen. So brothers and sisters, you have to understand that your limitation, where and where you're going to be, and don't put yourself in situations where it's very difficult for you to lower your gaze. Especially nowadays when someone, for instance, go to these beaches and like, I'm going to lower my gaze. Yeah, good luck. Seriously, good luck. Yeah, I'm not sure what kind of. And maybe you want to, blind yourself. Blindfold yourself, but good luck with it. So brothers and sisters, you have to understand that this is not an easy task. And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, Ya ayyuha alladhina amanu la tattabi'u khutuwat ash-shaytan. Because understand everything starts with a look. And the look would follow with a look. And the shaitan, guys, wallah take it from me. The shaitan, he have a very long breath. Yeah, if like when someone say I have stayed underneath the water for 1 minute, the shaitan has a long breath. If he was able to make you look at one woman once a week, it's an accomplishment for him. Because next week he might make you look twice, and the week after 3 times. See, you know what? Even worse, one look a month. But he guaranteed that next month you're going to look twice, it's an accomplishment for him. By the end of the year, he's what? He wants to look. You see? So brothers and sisters, it's important for us to understand how things work. And how these things can destroy your heart. And many people, brothers and sisters, by the way, it's kind of for you guys to understand, what's one of the most successful institutions or very profit-making in America is pornography. It's like these people there's not, it's pretty obvious who control this industry. I don't have to say it. I'm sure you guys know, the 3 letters. I know, but anyway, but the point is that this is the way they make their money. Why they make a lot of money? Because they understand the nature of a man. Yeah, this came out of a vacuum. No. They addressed what the fitna the man would go through. And nowadays, ya akhwan, Allah alim, the other day, uqsim bi Rabbil Izzah, I was just going through my social media. And I saw an advertisement. And this what this son of a gun is advertising for. He said you could use AI to seduce men to look like as they are little women. Then now this is going to be a new thing. And maybe the shaitan will come to a man, she's not real. It's okay. It's okay. No, even if this doesn't matter. You see? Because that's how things are evolving here. But we have to understand that this is, and you have to understand what the important saying by Ibn Qayyim, and this is very applicable to many of us. He said, وقد قضى الله تعالى قضاء. Look at this. وقد قضى الله قضاء لا يرد ولا يدفع أن من أحب شيئا سواه عذب به ولا بد. This is a very dangerous statement. He said, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has made a rule that anyone who loves anything besides Allah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will punish him with it. If you love your business, if you love anything, if you love it equal to Allah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will punish you with it. You would wonder how it would occupy you. And it would occupy you, and you would start thinking about it. You kind of how, and imagine if this is a woman in haram, or the shahwa, this desire that you've been infected with in haram. Allah will punish you with it. You might waste money on it, spend time on it, you worry about it all the time. You have to think, he says, فَكُلُّ مَنْ أَحَبَّ شَيْئًا غَيْرَ اللَّهِ عُذِّبْ. Whoever loves anything besides Allah, he loves it so much, equal to Allah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will punish him with it. And he said, بِثَلَاثِ مَرَّاتٍ. You know, he would punish him in 3 levels. Look at this. He said, في هذه الدار فهو يعذب به قبل حصوله حتى يحصل فإذا حصل عذب به حال حصوله بالخوف من سلبه وفواته فإذا سلبه اشتد عذابه عليه. Anybody who loves something besides Allah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala would punish him in 3 different ways, in 3 different levels. First level, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala would punish him before he gets it. How? He's always thinking about it. How am I going to get it? And he struggled. He may pay money, waste time. I'm going to get it. Right? He's wasting time. And once he gets it, he's going to be punished with the fear that how he's feeling that it's going to leave him. He's thinking about, and he wants to protect it, and he wants to spend, he spend even more money on it to make sure that this will not leave him. And after it leaves him, the third one, after it leaves him, he is sad. He's worried. He's anxious. Why did it? So he's being punished. And this is not easy punishment. When someone talks about the psychology of the man, the human, if a man is thinking about this all the time, it breaks you. And that's why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told us that to make him the focus of our life. Yes, we love our wives, we love our daughters, our mothers, yes, but are they? But the thing is, when something love becomes beyond its limit, that's what happens. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will punish you with it. So this is pretty much covers the shahwa of an-nisa. Now, when it comes to the other desire that today I'm going to be talking about, is حب الأهل والولد, the desire of loving our family and our kids. Now, are we asked to love them? Yes, we are. But are we going to be tested with this? Of course. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned that. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, يا أيها الذين آمنوا إن من أزواجكم وأولادكم عدو لكم فاحذروهم وإن تعفوا وتصفحوا وتغفروا فإن الله غفور رحيم إنما أموالكم وأولادكم فتنة والله عنده أجر عظيم. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talks about how that sometimes we're going to have, because of our love to our family, to our kids, possibly becomes a trial to us. And this ayah, where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, "Oh, you believe, indeed some of your wives and kids are your enemy." Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, sometimes some of your wives and kids are enemy, you know? So be cautious of them. This ayah was revealed when one of the Sahaba, you know, he wanted to go out with Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam to fight with him, and he was not able, he did not go because his family told him, "Don't leave us. Don't leave us. You know, if you die, who's going to protect us? Who's going to provide for us?" So he left it. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala revealed this ayah. Now, notice Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, "Inna min azwajikum wa awladikum." Some of your wives and children are your enemy. Did he say all? No, he said some can be your enemy. But in the next ayah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said what? "Innama amwalukum wa awladukum fitna." So some of the wives and kids can be an enemy to us. But he's on the next ayah said, "Innama amwalukum wa awladukum fitna." Indeed, your wealth and your kids are fitna. And this fitna applies to all of us. So all your kids, my kids, everyone is fitna. It's a trial. It's a trial on us. How that can be a trial? Because we can be asked. Yeah, for instance, how many times you come to the masjid and maybe your kids tell you, "Oh, Baba, stay in the masjid. I want to play with you." Right? This happens. And you're going to be questioned, "Oh, should I go to the masjid or play with my kid one more time?" How many times, you're supposed to donate for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and you would think, maybe this would shorten my provision. I would not be able to buy this to my kid. It's a fitna, you know. It's a trial, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, it's a test for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You know, how that our kids and our wives can be a challenge. Sometimes we might prioritize them before Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And so this is something that many of us possibly we would have to go through. And we would have to question and say, "Hey, which one should go for?" And so this is something that we would go through, all of us would have to go through. And if you're not married, prepare yourself. You're going to be going through that, you know. Because Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, what he said? He said, "Inna al-waladu mabkhala mashbana." Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said this. He said, having a kid would make you more coward or would make you more cheap? Because coward in what sense? You know, if something happens, you're less, less courageous to go out and protect your team. You are, or you would save money for his college, and you don't want to spend because you're fearful you might have enough money for them. You know, so it's important that we understand this. Who is the Razzaq? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. When you and you're going to be trial with this all the time. Are you going to put Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala first, or the need to? Here we're not saying take the bite out of the mouth of your kids. And no, there is priorities here. There is priorities. وَإِنَّ لَأَهْلَكَ عَلَيْكَ حَقٍّ. Your family have a right, and your wife have right on you. But here, when we talk about when it comes to certain priorities, for instance, coming for Jum'ah, going to Umrah versus going to Paris. I don't know, right? Because nowadays I see people, they would go around all of the world, and the last thing is they would go make Umrah or Hajj. Yeah, hey, what is it? So, which one is a more of priority? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and his deen, or your family and their needs? And that's the question that you need to ask yourself. And they're going to be functioning. Yeah, if you tell me no, I know you're lying, because this is a constant thing that many us will have to go through. Almost daily. That you're going to be questioned. This one or Allah? This or who is more important? And that's why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, يا أيها الذين آمنوا لا تلهكم أموالكم وأولادكم عن ذكر الله. Oh, you believe, don't make your money and your kids turn you away from the remembrance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. وَمَنْ يَفْعَلْ ذَلِكَ فَأُولَٰئِكَ هُمُ الْخَاسِرُونَ. And whoever does that, they are the people who are losers. So yes, as soon as the man marries, he's going to be more cheap and he's going to be more coward. And that's what Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam has said. You're going to be inflicted with these two things. And how would you overcome these two? Is that you would try to sacrifice for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with your wealth and whatever capabilities that you would have. And leave the rest to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will provide for them. Khalid ibn Walid, what did he die? Did he die fighting? What did Khalid ibn Walid die? You guys remember? Huh? In his bed. And he is the commander of the believers. There is no simple equation. Just because you do something doesn't mean that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will take you out in one words. That lies between the hands of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But the question here, ya ikhwan, are you going to do what are you supposed to do? Another example. How many times you, as men, we're inflicted with a test of possibly our daughters or our wives not wearing a proper hijab? And it's like, yeah, let go. I'm not going to, make a drama about this. Let them do this and then if you keep letting go, just because you want to, you want to let things fly like there is no test here. There is no test here. Here, I'm not saying you should be shouting and become a stink. No, I'm saying that you should do your part and protect your household. Because it's a fitna. It's a trial. And if you're not going to set a foot in this and protect your wife and protect your kids from the haram things, who will? Your neighbor? Who will? Who's going to advise them about what is right and wrong? But out of, wallahi, I want to be a more modern husband, I would let it go. No, it doesn't work that way. يا أيها الذين آمنوا قوا أنفسكم وأهليكم نارا وقودها الناس والحجارة. All you who believe, protect your wives and your kids from what? From the hellfire. Hellfire that it's fuel are human beings. So if you're not going to advise your daughter and advise your wife and advise people of how they should look and how they should talk and then you're like, oh, I'm going to be no. It's a fitna. So brothers and sisters, understand that this is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is testing us with our families. Because at the end of the day, it's an amana Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala have given us. Put between our hands, and what are we going to do with it? I am going to grab the hand of my wives and my kids to Jannah, or I'm going to take them with me to the hellfire. Because it's either, there's only two pathways. But a lot of times, maybe you'll see a righteous husband. Maybe you will see a righteous husband, but he has what? Weak personality. Or what we call it, he's gullible. And anybody could influence him. One word would take him and one word to bring him back, Maybe he's righteous, but he know whatever they're doing is haram. Because he wants to be, he wants to be, he does not want, he wants to, take care of them. And, one. Anyone, even the donkey can provide for their kids. Grass. Bring them grass and khalas. If you are bringing, if you are marrying and having kids to feed them, anybody can feed them. And even the animals can do that. Yeah, it's not a magical task yet. But what the challenge is how you're going to break them. How are you going to fear Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with them? Because like seriously, it's not a major task to bring food to them. And nowadays, for instance, you know, sometimes people get government assistance and khalas, they have food and drink for the whole month. It's easy. Easy. But what the challenge is here is that when you are walking from day to day, are you drawing the boundaries of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in your household? You tell this is halal, this is haram, this is allowed and not allowed. That's the challenge. Don't be a person who is naive. You know, like the what they call it. You know, this show with the puppet. Yeah, the puppet show. You know, there's someone is playing with him. Don't be like that. You're just a show husband. No, this look that way. You are Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala have given you al-qawama, the leadership. Why? Because it's a title? Because you can yell and shout? No. It's a title for you to protect your kids and show them the right from the wrong. And tell them this is halal and this is haram in the best of means. I'm not here. I'm saying that ادعوا إلى سبيل ربك بالحكمة والموعظة الحسنة. Call on the way of your Lord with wisdom and good speech. But at the end of the day, this is a responsibility. And it's going to be, it's a tug of war. Sometimes you have to pull and let go. And something, inshallah, and the more you show them this, the more they will go through, they will move along with you. So understand, this is not an easy task. That especially us men, and even but when it comes to the fitna of our children, even our sisters are inflicted with it too. And you think that it's easy for a sister to and sometimes it's difficult for a sister to, for instance, challenge with whatever her kids will tell her to do versus what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will tell her to do. Because she wants to be, more caring, and she wants possibly would let go of the things. Because of emotions. A woman heart, as they call it. So understand these things, that it's a trial. Having a family and having kids is a trial. Women in general are a trial. But we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to protect us against. And we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to show us His light and guide us. جزاكم الله خير معكم. بإذن الله أنا شوف الاحتياج ذاك بإذن الله جزاكم الله خير. سبحانك وبحمدك نستغفرك ونتوب إليك والعصر نسامحك وتصل بها بالصحة والوصل الحمد لله جزاكم الله خير. Is there any questions? جزاكم الله خير والسلام عليكم.